What's up, everybody? This is a new episode of Next Gen Jerks. I am Jake, and the fellow over my left cussing over there is John.
Hello.
Wiping his nose on camera. That is awesome.
I do it a lot.
What's up, everybody? Yeah. All right. So, it's been a little while since the last episode, depending on when you watched it, I guess.
That has?
Has it been? I thought it's been longer than a week. I don't know. Yeah, because I didn't make it here last Monday.
You didn't?
No, I've been working tons and tons of time at work, so I didn't make it.
Oh.
Then you tried to get me over here Tuesday, but that didn't happen.
Oh, yeah, that's right. It's been a few weeks.
It's been a little while.
Yes, it has.
But luckily, time away means better topics, hopefully. Speaking of which, during the time off, I actually made a trip back to Family Video, where I haven't been to in freaking years, and I rented Defiance.
That's no good.
You don't even know. I haven't talked about it yet.
No, I did. I was setting my drink down. You can hear it.
I know. I was just messing around. Yes.
You rented Defiance.
I rented Defiance.
Ah, you didn't tell me that.
Well, you know what? I was going to rent 2 copies and bring it back to you, but I could not get you to answer your phone while I was in Family Video. I didn't want to rent a copy for you, then you not be able to have time to play it.
When do I not have time to do anything?
I know. I just wanted to make sure.
I am jam-packed full of time.
Well, then I should have bought you or rented you a copy and dropped it back off. Because you know what? It actually wasn't that bad. Let's check out some.
Did you already take it back?
Yes, I took it back a couple days ago.
When did you try to get in touch with me? Hey, don't start that.
Oh. Huh?
When did you try to get in touch with me?
Right after I left the last time we did a show. I rented it that night. We talked about it in the last show. I was intrigued. I went to the Family Video. There was like 7 copies of it there. I almost rented 2 of them and brought one back for you. I probably should have.
I didn't get a message.
I think I tried to call you or something. I don't know. It was right after I left and you were off to do whatever it is you do when I'm not here, so.
Probably cook.
Yeah, probably. But it wasn't a big deal. I still played. There were still tons of people on the game. It's a pretty good game. Let's mute the sound on this, though.
Mute?
Yeah, it's that way I can talk and they don't have to hear it over. Can we do that?
No.
Shit. Well, isn't that awesome? Anyway, yeah, so.
We're going to be louder than it anyway.
That's okay, yeah. So Defiance is a MMO shooter for the console, which is brand new. They've never been able to pull this off before. And that's partially the reason why the footage you can see here makes it look like it's about 6 years old. The graphics weren't as crisp and clean as you'd want them to be on a brand new game and all that good stuff. But it did play smoothly. There is one thing that you do have to understand what's going to happen when you rent the game or buy the game. The first time you put it in your Xbox, you're not going to get to play it for 2 fucking hours. It plays exactly like an MMO, so it also has patches like an MMO. Everything that they've pumped out for it, you have to download and install to your Xbox. You actually have to install the fucking game to your Xbox to play it at all, which is kind of silly.
Really?
Yeah, so I sat there for 2 goddamn hours waiting for this damn thing to install to my Xbox, download all the damn patches. I almost took it out and took it back right there. I was kind of irritated. But luckily, after finally getting to play the game, I was somewhat impressed with the way things look. Like right there, the action is crazy unheard of. The gameplay's crisp. They don't have like a cover system, which is kind of strange because that's how most third-person shooters work. You can hide behind stuff, but there's no fluid movement around the side to shoot at people. Those guys are assholes, by the way. The driving and stuff, like you're seeing here, it works very well. It's got the nice MMO thing where you just press a button and it automatically calls your little 4-wheeler. And then it just disappears when you don't use it and it just comes right back. There's no running around trying to figure out where you park the goddamn thing or anything like that. The map itself is a little bit of a pain in the ass because you kind of got to follow the roads. If you go off-road, you're going to end up hitting a cliff, 5 minutes from where you want to be, and then you're going to have to turn around and go back and take the road, and you have to go 20 minutes out of your way to get to where you're going. Saying that, it is a very insanely huge map. I mean, I played it for 7 days and probably still didn't get to see all of it. I was very impressed with the size, the scope, the whole game is just massive. The multiplayer is a little funny because, well, not really. I don't know about the multiplayer. I didn't do the deathmatch stuff. But tried to play with other people because it's a massive multiplayer game. That's how this shit's supposed to work. And nobody chats on this game. Which the chat, it's not like a special chat place. It goes through Xbox Live. They have groups and clans and all that good stuff. I think I grouped up with one person once, and they still never turned their mic on so we could talk back and forth. So unless you're actually playing with people you know, this game can, it feels a little lonely, and it's very difficult by yourself because the enemies are not compared to like your level or standing like that. You'll come up against grunts; they'll be easy to mow down. And then just a second ago, you seen one of those big blue guys with a minigun. Those guys are retardedly fucking hard. Especially when you find one with like a grenade launcher or something, because they'll just mow you down and blow you up and they don't give two shits. But like some of the places that they do still have, it's not just a barren wasteland. They do have artifacts and stuff. Here's one of the big bugs from the Hellbug contest that you have. And if you're looking for people to play with, that's where everyone is. Everyone hunts down these Hellbug incidents that happen about every 20 minutes, I think. It takes 15 minutes to kill it, another 5 minutes to wait for it to respawn somewhere else. You look at your map, it'll be a big red circle. You'll find it very easily. They really want everyone to get together and blow the shit out of these damn Hellbug posts or whatever they're called. But I did enjoy this game a lot. If I had the $60 to dump on it and I could talk 3 or 4 other people into buying it, plug it.
No.
I would think about getting it. But like I said, it's a brand new game that looks like an older game, and there are little bits and pieces that do hold it back. There's a gun mod system that is very difficult to get around and figure out. It took me forever just to understand what the hell was going on. Yes, it has these ridiculous time races to fill time, so you're not just constantly shooting. But it was kind of unforgiving with the gun mod because it didn't really explain it at all. It just kind of threw you in there, and then you tried about a dozen times, and nothing ever worked. And then finally I figured out I had to buy guns with mod slots or upgrade a gun so it would have a mod slot. Then you could attach a scope or a clip or a gun shoulder brace or whatever the fuck those things are called. But overall, yeah, if you have friends that like to play games like this and you've been waiting for an MMO to hit the console, this isn't a bad idea at all. If you have a third-person shooter love and want to fixate it with 40 or 50 other people at once, this is the way to do it. There are a lot of crazy guns. There's a... Oh, we're done. There you just saw the gun with like a grenade launcher, a sticky grenade launcher. But yeah, I was impressed by it. It was a lot of fun. Just wasted a lot of time in that game. It was actually really interesting. I give it a Jake thumbs up.
When you look at me, you got to turn your head to the side so you're still talking in the microphone.
Oh, like that? I got to do the Batman turn thing?
Yeah, otherwise, because usually you just turn the microphone with you, but since it's stationary now, another little thing, Jake's stationary microphone.
Yes, I'm adding to the show, at least as much as I can.
Yeah, I've heard that it's all pretty much the same. Like at first it's cool, but then all the kind of missions start to get repetitive, and
they do a little bit. There's a lot of camps you got to invade, and they all have got turrets, and those are a pain in the ass to get past. And there was one thing that I want to bring up that was actually a very good addition was episode missions. And what it is this is also a TV show on the Sci-Fi Channel, and they try to throw missions in there every week to coincide with the TV, or with the TV show, sorry. And it worked out kind of well because I actually watched the first episode of Defiance last week, and in the game I helped these 2 characters that are in the show get this big blue crystal thingy that I didn't know what it was. They just said it was worth a lot of money. I helped them get it, then they robbed me of it, and they took off, and I never seen them in the game again. But in the show, they actually used that same crystal thingy from the game to power up some weird Powerball thing that, I don't know, if you don't watch the show, you're not going to understand what I'm talking about. But yeah, it was just kind of neat that they linked one together to the next. Made it coincide together, both worlds. I liked it. It was pretty neat. It made me feel like I was a part of it. Like, hey, I got that thing for them, and then they stole it from me, the douchebags.
Yeah, it was the way I felt when I watched GoldenEye after playing GoldenEye. Like, because I actually played the game before I watched the movie. So I was like playing the game. I was like, oh, this is pretty cool. Because it was the first time I played a first-person shooter ever. I was like, ooh, this is kind of interesting. And then I watched the movie. It's like, Hey, I know that set. Hey, I know that place. Hey, everything from the game. Everything from the game is in this movie.
The only problem is now I know how this movie ends, and I'm only 15 minutes into it.
No, actually, I rented the game, so I never I never
okay.
got that far in my first rental, but before I watched it. But I was
You
just
rented
like,
an N64 game?
oh hell yeah!
Wow.
Back then, I was broke as a joke. I didn't have a job, so I couldn't afford to buy games.
I thought everyone owned GoldenEye for N64.
Nope, never bought it.
Wow.
I owned a total of, God, probably 3 games for the N64 before I sold the N64.
I think that's all I owned too, but I owned GoldenEye and then 2 wrestling games. And I think that's all I ever played besides fucking Mario Kart, of course, because everybody plays Mario Kart.
I didn't own that either.
Yeah, but you had to have played it at some point.
I played it. Yeah, we played the shit out of that. The only games I owned was Super Mario 64, Banjo and Kazooie's fucking bullshit racing. Yes, that was stupid. It wasn't even Banjo and Kazooie the game. It was the fucking no. It wasn't that. It wasn't. It was Diddy Kong Racing.
Oh, okay.
It was stupid ass Diddy Kong Racing and Mario 64 and Blast Corps. Those are the 3 games I owned for that system.
I'm gonna say it right here. I like kart racers, but the only one that ever did it right was Mario. I've played a bunch of them, all different characters and franchises and all that good stuff, and Mario's the only one that really got it down right. But there you go, Mario. There's your.
It was great for its time, but it got old really fast, and the N64 version just was like.
Yeah, I mean, I just played this on Super Nintendo, so.
Yeah.
But it always got prettier and a little bit, just a little bit more refined.
Yeah.
Now, I'm sure on the Wii U, I'm sure people are just bashing their heads in, not wanting to play it, but.
So Defiance, yeah, I thought about that, and I was like, all the reviews I've been hearing, it's just boring.
Now, see, I never heard any of those reviews, which I kept finding beta reviews. I couldn't find any actual reviews on the game. IGN never did a fucking review for it.
I didn't even know the fucking game was out when we were talking about it, or that it'd come out before then, or I thought it was still what it come out the 4th is when it came out. So I had no idea. I thought when we were talking about it last time that it was still going to be released.
No, it came out a week before the show started or some shit like that. So yeah, right around the 4th.
And you never would have known it was coming out because nobody fucking said a word about its release. Defiance is coming. Then all of a sudden it was released and everyone shut up.
You've got to watch a little TV, man. Fucking.
Don't have cable.
I know you don't, but that's where.
Don't want cable.
That's where they tell you it's being released because that thing was talked about constantly on cable.
Yeah, well, that's part of the reason why I don't like cable. I was going to discuss this really quick.
Well, do it.
And it's not really, while you're looking for that.
Yep.
It's, for all of you Bethesda fans, you probably already know that Bethesda is no longer releasing DLC for Skyrim. They have abandoned the game in favor of moving on to the online Elder Scrolls. And I guess they've just now announced a release of an upcoming title, Skyrim Legendary Edition. And Legendary Edition is essentially all that is just the DLCs included in the game. It's I even wrote it, whoop-de-doo. Who cares? Doesn't everyone who's going to play Skyrim already own Skyrim?
You never know. I know a guy at work who just bought his copy of it about 2 weeks ago. He's been holding out. He probably should have held out a little longer.
But if they're only releasing 2 DLCs, I mean, the DLC cost is probably going to be reduced as well, so why would you even buy the Legendary Edition now when you can just get a used copy of Skyrim and pay $10 for each DLC?
Well, no.
There's only 2 DLCs.
There's 3.
Oh, fucking Hearthfire.
The Hearthfire counts. It may be stupid and pointless, and oh boy, I get to build a house. But it counts, and you have to have it if you want to get the 100% completion on the game, which no one will ever do because that game is insane.
Did they charge for?
Yes, they charged $5 for Hearthfire.
Oh well,
the rest of them the other 2 were $20 a piece, but that one was only $5.
See, and I never downloaded the Vampire one. I only downloaded Dragonborn.
I didn't even download Dragonborn. I'm having enough fun with that game without it.
Dragonborn was not worth it. I will say that.
Kind of intrigued with the new world and wherever it is you get to go. I don't remember. It's like a new land that you got to go and explore.
Yeah, it's not too impressive. Basically, what it is
What's the name of it? I can't.
Oh Jesus! It's from Morrowind.
Yeah.
And I don't remember the land.
Morrowind's close enough.
It's just, yeah. There's big things that the natives of the land hunt, and that's about the only really interesting part of the game.
Okay.
You're supposed to be able to ride dragons, but
I heard the riding dragon thing was a complete failure.
Yeah, it's like one part of the game where you have to ride a dragon to the other dragon-born guy and before you kill him. But I've never been able to ride an actual regular dragon, even though you get the scream that, or the dragon talk or speak or whatever the fuck it is.
The dragon shout
That supposedly allows you to do that, but I never got it to work.
It's not like Grand Theft Auto style where you can just make a dragon land whenever you want, just hop on him and fly around.
Yeah. I think you can only do it with certain dragons or some shit like that. Maybe you can only do it on that world with the way I call it, the Lord of the Rings Nazgul dragons, because that's exactly what they were.
And I heard the combat with the dragons kind of sucked too, because it wasn't just flying around attacking things. It's like you have to curse it, and then you have to press a button to do a certain attack or something. It wasn't a very fun way to use a dragon. Considering I've played other dragon games that sound a hell of a lot better than what that did.
Yeah, it just wasn't very fun.
I wish I could remember that one dragon game I played forever. It had a girl and she had her dragon, and it was like the best dragon flying game ever. Third person hack 'em slash kind of thing. But it was
Dragon Girl.
No, it wasn't Dragon Girl. I can't remember what the hell it was called, but it was an awesome game.
Have no idea.
It was like for PlayStation 1, I think.
Oh,
it might have been for PS2, but I think it was for PStation 1.
PlayStation 1, I wouldn't even know.
No, it had to have been for PS2. It was like an early PS2 game.
Nope, don't know. But anyway, for all of you people who haven't played Skyrim yet and want to get everything together, you may want to buy the Legendary Edition for some reason.
You never know, man. There's got to be somebody holding out for that, just to have all the DLCs and everything in a nice, pretty package.
You got what you were talking about up here? It looks like Telltale.
Yeah, that's what I'm...
Oh, okay.
We wanted to have a look at a couple of the new arcade games coming out for XBLA, and this one, it's just a poker game, but I thought it was funny.
Telltale Games Poker Night 2.
Yep.
Again with the teaser trailers.
Frickin' zombies.
Have you tried using all your inventory items with all your other inventory items?
I gotta tell you,
I don't know who that dog is.
Stop pussyfooting around and give those undead jerks a taste.
It's from some game.
Well, yeah.
Who's the dude?
The blonde-headed guy? That's
No,
Brock.
I know Brock, the other dude.
That's Ash from Evil Dead.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Positive. Boomstick, see?
This isn't working. Let's play something else. Something with high stakes.
Oh, I've got an idea, but we'll need another player.
You.
Okay.
And I guess this isn't the first. There was an actual Poker Night 1 that I didn't ever know about. Yes, you even get the thing from Portal as the dealer.
Nice.
But this. I'm not sure if it has online play. I would almost imagine that it doesn't, since you actually play against 4 actual characters, which probably would actually hurt this game a little bit. But it'd be funny if you like playing poker and want amusing little bullshit. I guess there's a picture of the first Telltale games, or first Poker Night.
Oh, that's the first one?
I guess. I don't know. The only one I recognize is the one from Team Fortress.
Strong Bad.
Yeah, I don't know who...
The blue dude looks familiar, but I'm not exactly sure. And the rabbit, I don't know. I know there's a rabbit
I've
game.
I've seen the rabbit somewhere before. I don't know who the red guy is.
That's Strong Bad.
Who's Strong Bad?
Some internet thing.
Oh, okay.
It's so old now.
It's not even a game?
No, it's just some internet fucking video shit.
And the other Xbox Live arcade title that I wanted to look at, because it is a free game.
Wait.
What?
I thought I heard somebody moaning outside.
Oh,
I really need to shut that window.
No, because it's the only thing that brings air into this room.
That is true.
Spartacus. I hate.
Oh, I thought it was relaxing spa. Like, what kind of game are you into?
Oh God, I hate typing this shit out. This is so boring. I should have had you talk about something while I was doing
Well,
this.
yeah, I'm gonna blast through all my shit. Spartacus.
Spartacus
I'm Spartacus.
Legends.
This is based off the show too.
Oh, probably, yeah.
Spartacus legs. Well, I could discuss really quickly.
Oh, no, here we go.
Oh, well.
Sorry. Okay, this is another one coming for XBL Live. And the good thing about this is this game is free, supposedly. It says free to play.
Really?
Yes.
Strike from mind.
You get to feel like you're a Spartan.
For that is the world of men. We are more. We are gladiators.
It's a fighting game.
Yeah, of course it's a fighting game. Have you ever watched Spartacus? What do you think they do? You think they're going to play poker? No. They're
No,
going to
I
fight.
mean, it's just it looks like a standard, like, Street Fighter type of fighting game.
Except for with weapons and all this other
I mean,
stuff.
they've done other gladiator games that have been kind of more like, I would say God of War, but
No,
different.
Yeah. But you got. It looks like they do have a lot of customization in this game, and you know I love customization.
You also love fighters for some reason.
It's a good way to waste some time without getting into a big long game. You
So
want to get on
is
there?
Fucking Call of Duty.
Yeah, well, that you have to actually at least dedicate 15 minutes to. Fighters, if you just sitting down for 5 minutes, then that's where you go. Kill them all.
Okay.
Play for free. Spartacus Legends.
So Spartacus, you dedicate a third less time than you would in Modern Warfare.
Exactly. And, you know, finding the server and all that. It's just fighting games are there so you can jump in and out and have some fun without actually dedicating any time. I'm talking like it's quicker than jumping on and doing a quick Skyrim mission.
But you have to enjoy fighting games. I mean, it's a niche market. I guess first-person shooters are a niche market too,
Exactly.
but fighting is like a long-lost niche market.
No, it's not long lost yet.
Click on the Spartacus Legends gameplay. Let's see what an actual match looks like.
Shit. Hold on just a second.
God, you are addicted to trailers.
I was already on there. Press the wrong button. So yeah, let's check out some gameplay from Spartacus Legends. And it's a free game. How often do you get a free game?
I don't know. Doritos sent me a free game.
Burger King was giving away free games there for a while. But ooh, you got the crowd meter. You got to make them happy. You know, get them all into it. I wonder if
Can you do the chant? Oh, you're not entertained. Nice video. Jesus.
Yeah, it looks like it was taken at the whatever convention that they recorded from. Yeah, now you can see the edge of the TV, I think. Yeah, someone recorded this with their phone. And they're not really getting into it. Come on, guys. This is... Which, granted... Oh, no, they have a health bar. See, that's one thing a game like this should have. Like, this shouldn't have a health bar. It should just have, like, you get a death kill on that first move. That was kind of neat.
Oh, you mean like...
what was that... Bushido blade or whatever it was.
But there's also the Spike TV fucking Deadliest Warriors game. That's one-hit kill.
Is it?
Yeah.
See, now I like games like that. That is actually... I remember that Bushido blade game that they had as a samurai fighter. That game was awesome. You wait and nick him in the knee and they'll be limping and shit. I see, for a free game, this looks pretty good. I mean, what easier way can you get your friends to play a game unless you tell them it's fucking free?
To play once, yeah.
To play for a night. This would be a fun, you know, like get a bunch of people together and take turns having a few beers and playing video games for those of us who still drink. Uh-oh, what's this? Oh, live or die. Live or die! What is he doing? Is he...
He's going to put his nuts in it. Oh.
Oh, yeah, that's what it looked like. The flying teabag is what it looked like it was going to be. Wait a minute. That was Thumbs Up. I thought Thumbs Up lived.
Apparently not.
Obviously not in the Spartan world. But yeah.
Thumbs up means dagger to the eye.
Thumbs down means dagger in the ass.
Let's see.
All right, what else do I got? Oh,
Those are the two?
yeah, there were a couple other games on there, but it didn't look that interesting.
Oh, yeah, two identical movies, huh? Well,
Oh, yes.
while you're looking that up, we'll discuss another movie topic.
Yes, go right
The
ahead.
shitty Star Wars movies every summer starting 2015 announcement that just got made, which is complete and utter bullshit. And I'll tell you why. Because, like I was telling Jake before we started the show, but didn't elaborate on, the Star Wars universe thing is dead. It's deader than dead. It's all been done in graphic novels and books and shit like that. Now, if they did an animated series of it, of like an offshoot of those books, that to me would be fine and acceptable. But the whole movie thing, they just can't. I don't think after Lucas fucked up the prequels that they'll ever be able to bring that series back. And the only people who are really interested in it now are the people who are just like still living the Star Wars dream, buying all the Star Wars crap, and have basically just like closed their eyes and ears to what has happened with Star Wars. And most people have, been like, they've grown up. I mean, when you really think about it, Star Wars is our generation's movie.
Right.
To me, the prequels should never have been made in the first place, just due to the fact that it was our generation's movie. And there's, this generation has all sorts of new lores and stories that they're involved in. I mean, you talk to anybody in their mid 20s now, and just throw out like the name of a Pokemon, and then they'll regale you for hours about fucking Pokemon and the Pokemon lore and legends, and then all you did was just like throw out a little like, oh, blah blah blah, like nothing about it, but then you'll get schooled really quick, and that's when you start to realize the gap between what we all used to know. Like I could recite every single character from Star Wars like it was, like I had to know it, like
right.
My life depended on it.
I took a test on it at one point in time.
Yeah, and nowadays kids are like, what? Who?
Talk about that old guy in the vest.
Yeah, like who's the hammerhead guy in the bar? Like, why would you know that name? But then they'll recite fucking Yu-Gi-Oh shit fucking
right.
left and right. So I just don't understand why they keep perpetuating the old Star Wars legacy forward when it's really run its course. I think it's told its tale and should be done. But now the Disney's fucking got their
Disney
hand.
has it, and from what I've heard, the new trilogy is pretty much going to be based on the children of Han Solo and Princess Leia, and then Luke Skywalker is going to probably find somebody to fuck somewhere in the galaxy, and he's going to have a couple of kids too. And I guess there've already been like novels written on all this shit, so they have something to go off of. Granted, it's not like Twilight novels or anything like that. They don't have like a huge following. But that's where it could be a really bad chance it'll be Disney High School Musical, with like, just nothing but little kids learning the new ways and doing things on their own, and the old characters being back in the wings like, you better not do that. But
well, if you really think about it, it's like Lucas finally did what he ultimately wanted to do from the very get-go.
Cash in?
No. Put Disney in his films. Because I remember way back when, when they were announcing the second movie, Attack of the Clones, all the buzz on the internet was, he's going to put NSYNC in the movie. He's putting NSYNC in the movie. NSYNC is going to be one of the Jedis, or they're going to be the Jedis in the movie. You're going to see NSYNC in the movie. And everyone was fucking going nuts.
I don't remember
on
that at all.
news. And it was confirmed, and that was actually going to be, NSYNC was going to be in the movie, and then they took it out because of how many people were just like, fucking don't put NSYNC in this movie, what's your problem? Lucas got so butthurt over that he's like, don't want me to put NSYNC in my movie, and I'll show you, I'll give my whole entire movie franchise to NSYNC. Now you'll have nothing but NSYNC in the fucking film. And that's exactly what he did. And people are still, I don't understand how people muster this excitement for something that's just dead.
Well,
It's like, let's roll out the fucking corpse of George Burns and go attend his fucking show and watch him tell some jokes. Yeah, it'd be like, wow, I'd like to see George Burns' comedy again, but at what cost? He's a fucking living dead man. He's a zombie. Zombie Burns. You're going to be too off put by the fact that he's a rotten corpse then he used to be a comedy legend.
Yeah, but with that hologram technology they have now, I mean, they had Bob Hope at the Oscars a year ago or some shit like that.
Yeah, boy.
All
that
hologrammed
fucking
up.
hologram shit's they're never gonna give that up. It's just gonna be constantly going on over and over. Like, well, who is it we can roll out next time? They're gonna do a Beatles reunion, I guarantee it. It's
Yeah,
gonna
they
be
did
fucking-
Tupac. Tupac got his hologram concert about a year ago.
It's gonna be fucking Paul and Ringo, and then they're gonna like digitally put George and fucking John in there, like, and they're gonna be okay with it because they're all gonna be suffering from dementia by that point. They'll probably start talking to him after the show. Hey, but Paul or John said, I forget which Beatle I'm trying to imitate.
I can't remember which ones are still alive and which ones are dead.
It's a crapshoot. That was before my time. I'm trying to make I'm trying to play the old card, but shit, that's even older than me. But yeah, the Star Wars movies, it's just like, to me, it's just like the console release thing. People are getting way too blunt. You know, they're just taking things way too far. Their excitement levels, like, ooh, and they're not really thinking about, wow, these movies could really suck. And you know they can suck because you've seen Star Wars movies suck before.
That is true.
So I just don't, I mean, people like me are like, I may see the first one just because, I mean, this is a story from my time. So, of course, I'll give the first one a shot. But it ain't going to be like the fucking prequels where I'll go to the first one and be like, the second one's probably going to be. No. If the first one isn't just absolutely just out of the fucking gate, a masterpiece, I will be like, nope, Star Wars is gone forever. Whoop, I'm going to wipe it from my memory. I'll take whatever drugs I need to wipe Star Wars from my memory, and that'll be it.
But now the part you have to understand is that 2015 they plan to pump out 5 movies, one every year, and like the first one will be part 7, but the one they pop out in 2016 will not be part of the actual trilogy. That will be a standalone movie.
Yeah, it'll be the Boba Fett experience or whatever.
Based on one of the characters, Boba Fett or Yoda. I think Yoda's going to come first. I've heard something.
Yoda can't carry his own.
Well, they're going to try. So,
Well.
yeah. Every other year, you'll get a trilogy piece. But in the years in between, you're going to get a standalone character flick. And I know Yoda was confirmed for one. Boba Fett was confirmed for another. Maybe Han Solo, but I'm not 100% sure.
So, in other words, you're going to get Episode 8 and
7.
one really shitty.
Episode
No,
7.
you'll get 7 and you'll get 8. You'll get
No.
one shitty fucking movie, and that will be it when the bottom drops out. Because after the first one flops, and then they pull out, they force in that fucking, well, we already got all the footage put together and everything, so we have to release the Yoda film. The Yoda film comes out, bombs. Episode 8, they'll just be like, well, you know, we shot a bunch of it, and you know they'll go for the second one, hoping it's better, and then that'll bomb, and then boom, budget will be cut. They'll fucking just sell off whatever's left of LucasArts, and that'll be it. Because it all hinges on that first movie. They got big plans, but it all hinges on that first movie.
Oh, well, yeah.
Disney's bought a lot of properties in their fucking time on this earth, and they've let a lot of them go. So,
Speaking of franchises that Disney owns, Marvel may have a problem in the next couple of years, too, because Robert Downey Jr. is dancing around renewing his contract for Iron Man. After Iron Man 3, his contract is up. And that man is 50 years old, and supposedly he screwed his ankle up during the making of Iron Man 3. He is really thinking about hanging up the helmet. And if that happens...
well, he should.
If that happens, they're going to have to find themselves a new Iron Man. How do you replace Robert Downey Jr.?
They'll find somebody.
Yeah, but I mean, everyone loves Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man. He's made the franchise, basically.
Yeah, but a lot of people only really like the first one.
That's kind of true, but everybody loved Avengers, too, and he was a big part of Avengers.
That's true. People did love the Avengers.
And, you know, if you're going to come out with Avengers 2 and you don't have the original guy to play Tony Stark and Iron Man, that's going to be a problem.
Yeah, but they can't keep hinging every goddamn movie on Robert Downey Jr.
I agree. I would wish that they would try to put it on the shoulders of somebody else, but Captain America didn't make that much noise with his first movie. Thor didn't make that much noise with his first movie. The Incredible Hulk is...
They're making a sequel to the Thor movie.
They're both getting sequels. Incredible Hulk can't make a damn decent movie on his own to save his life.
The Incredible Hulk, they can't decide who the hell is going to be they know the digital Hulk will always be the Hulk.
Yes.
But who's playing Bruce Banner this week? Who knows?
They really liked how this last guy did it. I can't remember his fucking name again.
That's because he's an excellent actor. Mark Ruffalo?
Yes, that's his
He
name.
is an excellent actor.
But so is Edward Norton. It's just Edward Norton is an asshole behind the scenes.
Edward Norton is kind of he's a douchebag in real life.
Right.
And he's just a smarmy cocksucker on screen. He's never like, you never look at him and be like, oh. No,
So-
you always look at him like, ugh, fucking somebody slap him.
So he was your favorite in Rounders then, I'm guessing. Because that was one of those moments where he was
Yeah,
just a
he was
dirty
great.
bastard.
Well, who are you going to like? Matt Damon?
That's true. Speaking of Matt Damon, he's coming up next here in one of our shows. Because the next thing I want to talk about...
Really?
Matt Damon.
Oh, the sample player is back. That's hilarious. Yes, we all bitched about franchises and how they replay and remake and do all this shit. Well, this summer, Hollywood is actually trying to come up with new franchises or new movies. Only problem is they're pulling the old Armageddon, Deep Impact / Volcano Dante's Peak problem.
Oh, that's what you mean.
Yes, they come up with two movies that are completely, they're on their own separate movies, but have basically the same storyline. And the first one we're going to check out is Tom Cruise's Oblivion trailer. And then we're going to check out Matt Damon's Elysium trailer, and I'm going to show you why this drives me nuts.
I've seen the Oblivion, a little bit of the Oblivion trailer.
Well, we'll check this out, and then we'll compare it to the Elysium trailer, and then we'll show you how these two movies are almost exactly identical. I haven't seen this trailer yet.
Close the ad, close the ad.
I did close the ad.
Yeah, this is the Portal movie. Where all the robots look like they're from Portal.
Years ago, Earth was attacked. We won the war, but they destroyed half the planet.
They destroyed half the planet. And I've got my New York hat.
Yeah, I've got the New York hat from... Actually, now this movie kind of looks like WALL-E. Tom Cruise is sent back to clean up the mess.
Well, it's unfortunate that they have to do stupid shit like that because then they learn from iRobot that people like their sci-fi just being sci-fi. They don't want to be reminded of present day bullshit. Like, in movies today with like city cops like cleaning up the city, they don't throw on cowboy hats and dusters to do it. I mean, the bygone era is the bygone era for a reason. Torture me all you want.
Yep. Oh no, WALL-E got captured.
Oh no,
Morgan
Freeman.
He's the leader of the leftover humans.
Great. Oh, great. No, he's the everyman. Not another fucking Tom Cruise everyman movie. I'm just an everyday man. I'm an everyman who's going to save the world.
Except for he's... And she's kind of cute. Hey, baby, what's up? I haven't got laid in 3 days. You're going to give it up.
Stand down, Portal Bot.
Yeah, I have not seen this trailer. Hey, look, it was Darth Vader.
They won't stop till they find me. If you're looking for the truth, that's where you'll find it.
Why are you so disgusted with Morgan
Because
Freeman?
his career has just slid so far downhill.
Why don't you tell me?
Who are you?
I'm the female lead of this movie.
I'm not gonna do that.
Portal balls.
This is the only way.
So there you have Tom Cruise going away from his bright, shiny existence up in the happy shuttle or whatever, going back down to Earth.
Has anyone at this point noticed that, and I'm dead serious, that Ben Stiller's parody of Tom Cruise in Tropic Thunder, Tom Cruise is actually doing that in real life with his own career? Has anyone noticed this yet? What was the fucking last movie he did? That Jack Reacher?
Jack Reacher, yeah.
I mean, Jesus Christ, that's pulled straight from fucking Tropic Thunder.
Yep.
He was even in Tropic Thunder.
Yeah, he was in... Yeah, he was in
Why
Tropic-
is he doing this to his own career? I mean, is this it for him? Does he really just Holy Jesus
Yep.
God.
And now, here is the other side of the coin, the Matt Damon Elysium trailer.
God.
You're going to love this.
Matt Damon.
If you love Matt Damon, you're going to love this.
Oh, this
Just
is
imagine that every time he talks, that's all he says. Thank you, Trey and Matt.
Look, it's the same city.
Oh, God, don't tell me that's Halo World. They're on Halo. They're on Halo. This is bullshit. They're on Halo. They are on fucking Halo. They're on Halo. What a bunch of bullshit.
Oh, dude, stop it. You're going to make me choke to death. You even got the Matt Damon thing queued up. That's hilarious. The rest of us
The rest of us.
are still on Earth in the shambles.
Hey,
Hop.
hey, wait a minute. Didn't we watch a trailer for this?
No.
Are you sure? I need to get to Halo. You know, I already saw this. It was called District 9.
Well, that's from the guys that made District 9. I didn't get this thing screwed back to my head for nothing.
Matt. Oh, shit. I don't have to actually say it. I can cue it.
Jodie Foster's getting so fucking old. Oh, they're wrecking the beautiful city.
Matt Damon.
That's it. That's all the movie is. Matt Damon.
Yep. So yeah,
Jesus.
you watch those two trailers. You've got one movie where the hero is coming from Happy Land down to Shitty Land, and then the other one is exactly the same thing, except for he's starting in Shitty Land and making his way back up into Happy Land. It drives me fucking nuts that after all these years, they're trying to pull off the identical movie trick again. They did it with Volcano and Dante's Peak. They did it with the asteroid flicks. I'm sure you could think of 100 different times that there's two movies came out in the same year that are almost fucking identical.
Yeah, but, you know, you got Bionic Matt Damon.
Right.
The other one, you've got Jim Reacher, or Jack Reacher, or whatever his fucking name is.
Jack Reacher, Future Boy.
You know, taking on the portal balls.
But it's just, God, it's the same goddamn movie. It's like they literally wrote the script, handed it to two different movie companies, said, here, you have to change 3 parts, you have to change 3 parts, make your movies happen.
Well, I can already tell you Elysium's going to suck. The reason why I know it's going to suck is because District 9 sucked.
You didn't like District 9?
It was good. It was a great sci-fi movie.
Right.
But the director decided to get all ham-handed with the message and shit. Like,
Yeah.
apartheid, this is what's happening in Northern Africa, in Africa.
I will admit,
Rah!
it tried to get political when all you wanted to
Just-
see is aliens.
You know, sub out the aliens and make it the indigenous African people. And, no, you've got to really Yeah,
I do agree
it's
with
like,
you
come
there, yeah.
on. That's why I know, because this movie, it's going to be class struggle or some bullshit like that. There's going to be some strange political
Oh, yeah. It's about,
tie-in or some
there's like
shit.
a couple thousand people on Elysium, and then they left everyone else to rot on Earth.
Yeah.
But it's the same storyline of Oblivion.
It's also the same storyline of a part of Chrono Trigger, an old SNES game. You know, and it doesn't ever work out for the people in the sky. This is the age-old story. The people who live in the sky, it never works out.
Right.
There's always an uprising or a revolt, and, you know, it always goes shitty.
There's always something that you forgot down there that's secretly going to bite you in the ass.
Now, that's the same as Proteus, or what's the other movie?
Prometheus?
Oblivion.
Oh, Oblivion.
There's a happy culture in the sky that...
Yep. And they send him
See,
down.
I never got that. All I got was there's Jack Reacher, and then there's the portal bots. Like maybe
No.
he's working with the portal bots.
The portal bots is all part of Happy Land.
Is that all that exists in Happy Land, though? That one
No,
bitch,
no.
Jack, and
I'm
the portal
pretty sure
bots.
that that's like those are the people that were left. They think everyone else on Earth died. The whole thing with Morgan Freeman, they don't even know they're there, or supposedly they don't know they're there, and nobody bothered to tell Tom Cruise. But I think it was either I've got a feeling it's going to be like a cover-up movie.
Well, see, that's another thing then, because this is obviously the people on Halo are benefiting from the downtrodden poor that are still on Earth.
Yeah.
Whereas Oblivion, they don't. It's a secret.
It's a
a secret underground human collective on the planet
right. I think
that are trying to overthrow the portal bots. What it is, it's basically they took Half-Life. It's Half-Life the movie. If the aliens actually won, and what's it? Black Mesa actually. No, it's not Black Mesa. Black Mesa was the other place. What's the Aperture Science actually rid the world of all humans and created nothing but portal bots. And that is Oblivion.
Now, see, the one way they could have saved this is instead of making two separate movies, they could have just made one big movie, put both Damon and Tom Cruise in it.
That's never going to happen. What, are you crazy?
Gave it like an enemy at the gates kind of storyline where, there are two forces against each other. One actually doesn't know about the other. If then somewhere in the middle, they have to team up and actually take down and do what's right and all that good stuff. That might have made a decent movie. These two movies separate are not going to be any good at all. I would have liked to have seen something like that. You got the two enemies that have to work together for the greater good. One opening up the other to like, hey, don't you know that there's a whole society of people that you fuckers left to die and forgot about? That's what I'm trying to do. And then Tom Cruise would be like, oh, yeah, well, okay, let's do that then.
Well, the only thing I take from both of these is neither one should be made because it's clearly they're just video game ripoffs.
Oh, yeah,
Elysium is clearly taking on Halo. It's almost like, when the Halo movie got dropped, this director's like, oh, fuck that. I'm going to take all that footage that they were building of the Halo and I'm going to make my own film out of that. He's like the modern day Ed Wood of fucking leftover, CG shit. I'm just, of course, making all that up. And Oblivion is obviously Half-Life with the portal bots. It's got to be. I'm willing to wager money that it's a ripoff of Halo. But not Halo, of Half-Life.
There you go, people. Hollywood's back to making carbon copies of movies at the same time. Everyone got sick of them doing remakes, so they decided, fine, we'll come up with something, and we'll make 4 or 5 different movies about it.
Just call them Half-Life and Halo. That's all they are.
Oh, well.
Now, the only other topic I have...
Yeah, this is the one that's confusing me. I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, that's just my fancy name for it. Essentially, what I saw on IGN, it was like a round table of idiots. I hate IGN, by the way. And they were talking about a potential gaming crisis because EA had to lay off a bunch of people recently. And it's like somebody wrote in asking about, are we going to suffer another crisis in the video game like the crash back in the 80s? And, they were just pontificating on that. One guy was talking about how, like, ever since, like, the early NES era after the crash, consoles sold and video games sold has just it hasn't exponentially grown, but it's shown growth every single generation, and they don't see it stopping anytime soon.
Right.
I argue that point, and that's why I call this the X Factor in the gayest way possible.
I was surprised you didn't make some graphic for it.
Yeah, I've been doing other shit. No, it's Generation X, so to speak. We grew up, when we were coming up, the NES had just launched and the Sega Master System for those who own that. And, that kind of became our world, coming up from that. So, I mean, we were playing Atari before that and in television and arcades. And then it was just a natural progression. And the older we got, the more it's like, I still love my video games, so I'm going to keep buying video games and keep buying them. There's going to reach a point when all of us Gen Xers are going to stop buying video game systems because we've just gotten to the point where it's like, all right, I've played it all. I'm no longer interested. I was literally on the fence with Xbox 360. I was like, I could take it or leave it. And for large chunks of time, I didn't even play a single game on it. I was just using it for, videos and shit.
Yeah, media system.
And with Sony and Microsoft's strategy going forward, making it more of a multimedia system, it's almost like, well, what's the point of even? I mean, that's I guess that's their way of padding it out to get more people and to keep Gen Xers, buying their systems, because they know they're eventually just going to tire of the games. Now, a lot of people, have had kids too. It's like, well, they'll buy them for their kids. Well, that's possibly true.
Except for the fact they make very few kids games.
But my point is that I don't think kids really are that much into console gaming as people Gen Xers were. I think kids are getting more into mobile devices and mobile applications for their gaming. So I think there's going to be a definite shift on the horizon for gaming, and Gen Xers who basically brought the console, gaming culture up from the ashes to its peak. You're going to see it wane, and you're going to see it drop off as new technology starts to come up, and Gen Xers are just like, no, I want my console, and there's no more consoles to have, or they just get to the point where it's like, well, if it's not, I'm not interested in consoles anymore. I'm definitely not interested in this new shit, so I'm just done gaming. And then, that could actually happen this next generation. I doubt it, but
I hope not.
I'll tell you, there's some prime factors involved as far as I'm concerned, because I can only look at it and speculate from my opinion. And, coming from a guy who's on his third Xbox 360, I'd say I'm a major money spender in the video gaming world. So for me to buy the new system, I don't know. It's really, at this point, it's a huge toss-up. I don't think they're really offering enough to entice me. Now, they could do dick moves like what we were talking about before. Like they'll have the new Xbox Live, and it's no way, shape, or form compatible with the Xbox 360's Xbox Live. Now, if they did shit like that, I probably wouldn't buy their new console just out of spite, because that's bullshit.
And I completely agree with that. But you do have to remember that other than internet rumors, they haven't told you anything yet. So come E3, when everything does break loose, they could drop a bomb on you that would just be like, oh my God, now I have to have that.
Oh, they're convinced that, well, maybe not about the Xbox there, but they're convinced that, this upcoming week or two from now, they're going to announce the new Call of Duty.
Really?
Yeah, that's what everyone keeps saying. But then again, that's more rumor and speculation.
Yes.
They probably won't release that shit but game releases never seem to fall on the major show day. I mean, they do sometimes, but I think even last year they announced Black Ops 2 like early May. And I think that's why everybody's like, well, early May's coming up, get the announcement. And everyone's already talking about like, ooh, the next Call of Duty. It's weird how like you see all these trends, like everyone's like sheep. And it's like they play a certain game, 2 to 3 months later, like, this sucks. I want the new one. And then companies are like, they're starting to rely on that consistency of people just like getting bored with the games, waiting for the next one, and they can just keep releasing the same crap with a new package every single year to ravenous, brain dead, but stupidly hungry fans who just can't wait to shell out money for the same thing.
I wish they could make up some sort of law where they couldn't make the same game every year, because now Assassin's Creed is going to do it.
Oh, God.
They said they're going to pump out a game every year until the fans tell them not to do it anymore.
Well, guess
fans
what?
should have already
Guess
spoke
what? Enough already,
Yeah.
Ubisoft.
I think Call of Duty, Battlefield, they should all stop doing the every year thing. Sit back, really work on a thorough game, give themselves 2.5 years to really make it, matter, and then pump it out when it's an actual solid game and not just what just seems like a massive update to the game you just bought 9 months ago.
Well, the problem with that is that you'll have a bunch of first-person shooter people who are just fucking will literally strangle the life. They'll hunt down developers and like massacre their pets if they don't put out a new title the next year.
And that's silly.
Because that's how retarded these kids are. And I'll tell you what, now that competitive pro gaming has jumped the ship from Halo over to COD in a big way, Oh, they can't get enough of that. That's going to be the new fucking thing. That's all their titles are going to be, all geared towards professional and competitive play.
And that's fine. You know, if you want to make games for these things, that's perfectly fine. But
I think that's fine, but it's hard. God, I'm about to launch into this whole tirade about Black Ops 2. See, I bought Black Ops 2 a while back. It's been like 4 weeks now. It's been pretty
something
much a
like
month,
that, yeah.
almost. And I've been playing it. I've had my ups and downs. I'd love to just give a review of it, but everyone's already heard their reviews, and so many things have been said about it. And if you're watching this video, you may be interested in the little live versus theater mode comparison video I did, which is already up on YouTube, now when you're watching this. So go check that out too, and you may be surprised at what you see, because that surprised the hell out of me for sure. But that's, what brought that video about was me screaming at the top of my lungs at the TV about lag. And it's just a never-ending issue. And that's not going to change even with next-gen consoles. The lag isn't in the console itself or in the game itself. It's in internet connections. Now, some people argue that the way the game was designed is it kind of relies on the frame rate of the game that you're playing. Like if your frame rate starts to stutter and get shitty, then you're going to experience more lag. Well, I don't know about that. I'm not a game developer, but I've heard some pretty reputable YouTube people talk about that. And I don't know if that's a factor or not, but I do know that lag in games is now the #1 big topic of all games. It doesn't even matter what game it is anymore. If it's multiplayer and competitive multiplayer and shit like that, deathmatch stuff, lag is like the be all end all. And I guess you can see clearly there are certain games like Far Cry 3 that you might as well not even play them. The lag is so fucking bad. And
that brings up the argument: is it the game or is it the internet connection? Because if it doesn't happen that badly on Call of Duty, but it happens really bad on Far Cry, who do you blame it on? Your internet connection or the game?
Well, that you got to blame on the game, I think.
Okay.
Because Far Cry series has had notoriously bad multiplayer.
Yes.
The only other games that compete as far as lacking in lag, really, I'd have to say are Battlefield, the Battlefield series, and Halo. But
that's all of them then.
Well, no, because back when THQ was still around, they had Homefront.
Yeah, but that never made any noise. No one ever really got into that.
It made some noise, but not enough noise, because kids were so stupid that they were just like, it's not fast enough. It's like, if you could play Battlefield and not complain about the speed of that multiplayer experience, then you could play fucking Homefront and have a kick-ass time. But no, you can't. You're not enough to exploit. Whatever. Fucking kids. This is why you never cater to kids. But, that's me, grumpy old man, getting older every year, complaining about the damn youth of today destroying everything that used to be good in my day, back before multiplayer first-person shooter.
Well, I think that's about it for our episode.
Yep.
Next week's episode, we should have a couple interesting things. Hopefully, John will have his review on Batman Arkham City. At least his view of it. And I will be playing the Tomb Raider game this week. So I will have some information on that. Thought of that. I went into Family Video to get Injustice, walked out with Tomb Raider. So we'll see how that turns out.
And unfortunately, Jake doesn't have a PVR, so nothing he does gets recorded.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Such a shame.
Yeah, it's too bad. But then I'd have to move my computer into the living room, and then I would just uproot my whole household, and everyone would be yelling at me. So it's just easier this way. I'll do what I did with Defiance. I'll find somebody else's gameplay montage on Tomb Raider, and I'll talk over it.
All right. That actually did work out.
Yeah, it worked out really well. Because granted, the character they made looked nothing like mine. Mine was an alien with dreadlock ponytail. It was awesome.
I didn't even need that.
All right. Well, this was your episode of Next Gen Jerks. Thank you very much for watching. I'm Jake.
I'm John.
And we are out of here.
See ya.